can almost feel the history as you stand by this ancient tree. We're in the churchyard of St Michael's Church in Farway, and we're next to one of the 10 largest yew trees in Devon. This tree could be 1,000 years old, which means that it predates the Norman church by which it stands. In fact, it could be a lot older than that. There's really no way to age yew trees accurately because all yew trees begin to undergo hollowing as they age. That means that the heartwood begins to decay and turn into soil. So there are no annual rings to count even when trees are cut down, and there's no material to carbon date. In fact, theoretically, there's no reason why yew trees should die. They have an amazing ability to send out shoots from almost any part of the trunk. And that means that when a branch reaches the ground, it can reroot and a new tree can grow. When a root reaches the surface, it can send up a shoot and a new tree can grow sometimes metres away from the original parent tree. And they can even send out internal stems, which means a shoot grows from the inside of the hollowing trunk and grows down into the decaying heartwood in the centre and will reroot, and a new tree will grow inside the hollowing trunk of the parent tree. And it's this ability to regenerate and seemingly never die which appears to have been the reason for the association between yew trees and death and everlasting life. We know that the yew tree was used in Christian ceremonies for centuries, and there is evidence to suggest it was used in pre-Christian ceremonies too. So this could have been a sacred spot for a long, long time.
It's interesting to note from this little red berry that this is a female tree, and the benefits to trees of having two different sexes means that it increases the gene pool. This female yew tree could be fertilised by one of a number of male trees in the local area. And amazingly, the male tree doesn't even need to live nearby, as the pollen grains are so fine, like dust almost, they get carried on the wind over vast distances. If you see it on the right night, with the light coming through at the right level, it almost looks, when a male tree is releasing its pollen, like the entire canopy's on fire. The fleshy red berry, known as an aril, is the only edible part of a very, very dangerous tree, and that in itself is wrapped around a little black seed, which is highly toxic. So it's important not to eat any part of a yew tree. The toxin in the leaves and the stem is known as taxin, and that's being used in medical purposes and has been found to be very effective in the treatment of certain cancers.
Of course, yew trees have always had a long association with the English longbow. The wood was strong and straight-grained and flexible, which made it ideal for constructing this devastating weapon. But in fact, churchyard yews would only have supplied a fraction of what was needed, and even by the 1300s we were importing yew wood from Bavaria to make our longbows. And certainly Elizabeth I only decreed that longbows should be replaced by firearms because there wasn't enough yew wood left in Europe to supply demand. So here this yew tree has stood for over 1,000 years, the only constant in a landscape which has almost completely changed around it.